Hi and welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited about today's video because I'm going to be talking about something that hits home for me personally, just being in my third trimester. It has been a whirlwind of a pregnancy and I'm so grateful for, making it towards the end and seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and everything's really great, but it hasn't been the smoothest road to get here. So if you are pregnant or trying to get pregnant or have a friend who's in one of those situations and just want to have a little girl chat about mental health and pregnancy, then this is probably the video for you. So in pregnancy, you have all kinds of things going on. You have your hormones that are just all over the place, and sometimes that can make it hard to even decipher what is real. Like, okay, how do I even actually feel right now? Because my emotions are just all over the place, which that can lead to things like anxiety, depression, all kinds of other things that just are very uncomfortable, and it might be stuff that you experience in your normal life outside of pregnancy, but it can feel very amplified during pregnancy. So I want to make a few notes. First of all, you're completely valid to feel the things that you feel. Like, I want to give you that because it can be really isolating and it can feel really lonely to feel like, oh my gosh, like no one even gets what I'm going through. Someone gets what you're going through. You're not alone. There are so many women who feel the way that you feel, and that's to make you realize that you are not fighting this battle by yourself. And another note that I'll make is it's really important to stay in good communication with your doctor. Let them know if you're not feeling great, like your OBGYN that you do all your monthly visits with at first, and then it's bi-weekly and then weekly. Let them know what's up, because typically they are very used to these kinds of conversations. They work with women all the time, going through all these hormonal changes and these emotional changes. So don't feel like that's weird to bring up with them. And if it's something that's outside of their scope, they can always refer you to another doctor, and they could probably even give you some suggestions on who to go to. But I'm just going to share a little bit about my personal experience and things that have helped me in hopes that it can inspire you or help you or someone you love. So 5 different things that have helped me, just super small things. The first one is to remind myself that it's just a season. Like, not just that pregnancy is a season, but it could be a season inside of pregnancy. For example, for me, I know after 2 pregnancies now, like, I am the worst version of myself in the second trimester. It's so weird because everyone's like, oh, the second trimester is the best. Like, it's so fun. For me, it's just not. So maybe the third baby will be different if we do have a third baby. But I know myself enough at this point to know I am just not mentally great in the second trimester, and that's okay. So to remind myself, like, hey, the first pregnancy I struggled with this, I'm struggling with it again. That's okay. If you've never been pregnant before, this is your first time and you're just trying to figure it out, remind yourself, like, this is totally normal. Even if everyone else is having a blissful second trimester, there are other people out there like me that aren't having a good time in that second trimester. It's okay. It's okay that it might be affecting your body and your mind a little bit differently. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you. Again, if it's something you're super concerned about, go to your doctor. But reminding myself that it was just a season helped me, because if I know something's temporary, I'm gonna make it through, okay? Like, I used to be in bodybuilding, I used to do obstacle course racing. I'm like, I can handle short-term pain and short-term suffering. I can do that. We can get through this. But if it's something that feels like it's gonna last forever, and sometimes honestly my mind will trick me into thinking that my struggle is gonna last forever, that is what makes me lose hope. So I have to constantly remind myself, like, this is just a season. Second of all, going to a therapist consistently for like mental health counseling in particular. So I have been going to my therapist for even before pregnancy, but continuing to go to her has been incredible for just feeling hopeful about my situation. Not only that, it gives me accountability. Also, like, she'll just remind me sometimes, like, oh, remember when you said blah, 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 remember? And it reminds me, like, okay, yeah, I was really positive last week. What were the things I was doing last week that kept me so positive? What are the things that made me feel good that I maybe stopped doing? What has worked for me in the past? She reminds me of all of those things and just keeps me on the straight and narrow. But like, she reminds me of all of my logical thoughts that I've had so that I can stop the spiral either mid-spiral or before it happens. And it's just really nice to have someone almost like sort through my mental baggage with, because sometimes my brain can just feel like there are a million different tabs open, and she just helps me organize everything that's in there so it doesn't feel so daunting and chaotic, which obviously that can be super helpful when you're pregnant because there's just so much going on in your mind. Like, not only is it the hormones and all that, you also have 5 million things to do, especially towards the end of the pregnancy. You're like, did I install the car seat? I need to get the crib together. I need to make sure the closet's organized for when the baby gets here so that it's easier on me. There's just a lot going through your mind, and it's really nice to have someone to just kind of help give you some tactical, tangible advice on a weekly basis, or give you homework to make you feel like everything's doable, like you can break it into smaller steps. Okay, number 3, sharing my emotions with trusted people. So this goes back to not feeling alone. Pregnancy, at least for me, sometimes can feel just so lonely, and that's what makes it so difficult at times. So I've learned that if I go to people that I trust, I end up feeling so much better. Not even just to verbally process. Of course, I do verbally process as well. That's my way of getting through a lot of things. But just to know that people are there for me is huge. To know that there's someone there to talk to. There's someone there to be like, hey, everything you're feeling is okay. You're going through a lot. Give me a little bit of validation, and then just say like, hey, I'm here for you. Like, I will be here for you. That has been a game changer. Like, I have committed to myself, I'm not gonna suffer in silence. I'm not just gonna be like, I'm okay, and then be like dying on the inside. I'm not gonna do that to myself, because that's not fair, it's not healthy. And as a mom, like, I already have a toddler, I need to be my best self. So in order to do that, I need to be taking care of myself mentally and physically. My 4th one is prayer and prayer journaling. I started prayer journaling, I would say maybe a month ago, because with my prayers, I get so distracted. And then I'm like, wait, what was I praying about? Like, where was I in that? So I started journaling to just kind of like get it all down. And then it's nice because then I can go revisit my prayers later and see like what things happened and what didn't happen. And it's just overall a better experience for me spiritually. But I found the main thing with prayer and journaling for me is that it helps me focus on what I'm grateful for and all the blessings that I already have, rather than the 500 things I have on my to-do list and all the thoughts that are swirling through my brain. Honestly, my task list can just be so daunting sometimes. Like, even right now, I have less than 7 weeks until my due date, and I need to somehow get like all of his stuff together. Like, I really haven't done much at all. Obviously, it can feel very overwhelming, and I can be focusing on all that, but then it's really nice at the beginning and the end of each day, I'm writing in my journal like, hey God, thank you so much for all the things I have. Like, thank you that he's healthy. Thank you for my daughter who's healthy. Thank you for my husband who's supportive. Thank you for all the blessings you've bestowed upon us so far. It just puts me in a better mental place, and honestly reminds me that there's so much good in this life, even though I feel like sometimes I have to do it all and I'm never going to get everything done. I can really rest in God's peace. So if you're someone that already has those beliefs, that's something I really recommend. And if you're someone that's not very religious, at least journaling to get your thoughts out and kind of doing like a brain dump every night, or just putting what your wishes and your dreams are, it just helps organize everything in your brain so that everything doesn't feel so insurmountable. And I highly recommend doing that morning and night, because you have all the thoughts that pop up in the morning that can feel really intense, but then you also have all the thoughts at night that might prevent you from going to sleep. So by doing that before you go to sleep, you kind of let it all go. By the time you get settled in your bed, you're like, okay, I can actually relax. And lastly, just doing things that make me feel like me again. It's so easy to feel like your body is not your own when you're pregnant, and just feel kind of like disconnected from everything, especially towards the end, and you're feeling like just so big and so different than normal. So doing little things that get you back to you, I feel like can be so important. So for me, I have to be creative. I've learned this over my 30 years on earth. I have to be doing things that are creative to feel like I'm truly myself. So luckily, I started a business in January. I've been able to pour myself into that, and it allows for the utmost creativity. So that has helped me a ton. And other things like hanging out with my girlfriends without the kids, it's so good for my mental health to just have a little bit of break, be on my own as a person out in the world. Even though I'm not by myself, I'm with my girlfriends, but still like being able to be myself and feel like myself. Finally, in the third trimester, I started working out again, lifting heavier. That was such an important part of my life for so long, such a big part of my life. So getting back to that has helped me feel more like myself. And then just getting more into like listening to music again. I know how weird that is, but driving around with the toddler all the time, it's like I'm not listening to music that I like. So getting more into music I like, our little throwbacks, listening to certain podcasts that I enjoy. I found some new podcasts that I like, some YouTube channels that I'll watch in the mornings, or reading a book before I take a nap or anything like that. But I've just found that like having these things for myself make me feel more anchored in my body and my mind and who I am, and that has impacted my mental health for the better by far. So those are my 5 tips for staying positive during pregnancy. Super practical, super small. I try to give super small tasks for my clients because I know that the easier that it seems in our brain, the more likely that we'll do them. So I hope this inspired you in some way. And if you feel like it could help one of your friends, send it over to her as well, because honestly, I just feel like all women deserve to have good mental health. Moms, we go through so much already, just with our bodies and our minds and our spirits. So to share this with someone that it could potentially help would be such a blessing for them. And again, I want to remind you, like you're not alone. You're never alone. So many women have gone through this or are going through it right now. Even if people aren't talking about it, just remember you're not weird. You're not alone. I hope this inspires you to take action, and there is a lot that you are in control of and that you can do to help improve your mental health. But at the same time, if it just seems like too much, there's no shame in asking for more help. Like if you need more help, like I had even said for myself, like going to a therapist weekly has been absolutely life-changing. Go to trusted professionals, health professionals, people that you love, to get the help that you need, because you truly deserve it. You deserve that level of care, and you deserve to feel healthy in your mind and your body. And as a mom, you're caring for everybody, but you deserve to be cared for as well. If this video was helpful in any way, please like it, share with a friend, and I'd love to have you be part of my ongoing online community. So please subscribe, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.